Honorable Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. My name is Anastasia Bitkova, and I will speak on behalf of my family, Russian migrants who found refuge in Guatemala. We are politically persecuted by Putin's criminal regime, and we humbly ask for your help because here in Guatemala we suffer grave abuses of our human rights. Words are very easy to say and often are insufficient, so I will offer you facts with abundant evidence. In 2015, we were arrested here in Guatemala on the orders of Kremlin for supposed anomalies in the official documents issued to us by Guatemalan government. We spent 3.5 years in preventive prison while my 3-year-old brother was sent to an orphanage. The whole process was orchestrated by Russian officials. Before the trial began, the judge who will be in charge of our trial sent a letter to Russian embassy detailing the sentences that we would receive. And on 5th of January 2018, we were sentenced. When I left Russia, I was a minor. And when I received the documents, I was a minor, yet I received 14 years of imprisonment, the same as my mother, and my father received 19 years. We were sentenced for the supposed anomalies in the official documents, but migration law and Palermo Convention clearly state that migrants are not responsible for any anomalies in the documents issued by government. So to avoid this complication, the judges ruled that we are neither migrants nor citizens. And even though the High Court resolved that we committed no crime, the judges ignored this ruling and proceeded with our case. Allow me to name these judges and prosecutors who participated in Kremlin's persecution against my family. Attorney General until 2018, Telma Esperanza Aldana, Head of FESI, Juan Francisco Sandoval, Head of CICIG, Ivan Velasquez, Judge Erika Aifan, and Judge Yasmin Barrios. Their contact in Guatemala with the Russian side was Alfonso Carrillo, a lawyer and representative of a sanctioned Russian entity, Gazprombank, which basically belongs to Putin. On 27th of April 2018, Helsinki Commission of the United States held a hearing about our case, where Bill Browder, creator of the Global Magnitsky Act and defender of human rights, spoke as a witness. So, afraid of an independent investigation into their illegal activities, judges let us out of prison and placed us under house arrest. 3 years later, we are still in the same position. 2 senior Guatemalan governmental officials authorized issuing of our documents. The former Vice President of the Migration Office and later General Secretary of Public Ministry, Mayra Johanna Velez Lopez, and former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Raul Morales. Neither has been prosecuted nor investigated. To put it mildly, this is very strange, because according to the law, if our documents would really have some anomalies, then they will be the responsible parties. The head of FESI, Juan Francisco Sandoval, and our trial judges, Erika Aifan and Yasmin Barrios, gave to these people complete impunity. Instead, they accused employees of various institutions who had nothing to do with our documents. This was done to cover up the real crime ring. And I call these people a crime ring because they also issued documents to terrorists. These people also collaborated with the criminal regime of Nicolas Maduro, covering up their crimes through the bank called Bantrap, as well as covering up the biggest theft in Guatemala, $400 million, which was organized through a Brazilian construction company, Odebrecht. Our family was tortured in Guatemalan prisons, even though since 2016 we already had status of provisional refugees in Guatemala. And in July 2019, we became complete refugees recognized by Guatemalan government. The prison tortures were organized by judges Erika Aifan and Yasmin Barrios. Both were found guilty of torture by the National Commission of Prevention of Torture. They did this after the Helsinki Commission as an act of vengeance and to show their power, to break our will to fight. These people managed to misinform, or better said, to lie outright to the United States authorities, pretending to be independent judges and prosecutors who fight against corruption. The reality is very different. They're just corrupt opportunists who for money will commit any crime, including torture and persecution of an entire family. Our family is a victim of political persecution of the most corrupt leader in the world, Putin. His regime vote representatives of the judicial system of Guatemala. And I believe that we have a right to ask for real justice. We also believe that before making a decision that will affect the future of an entire nation, one has to be very well informed from all factions. And we ask for your help to achieve justice.